Bitcoin's gonna go to 1 million in 7 years.
देखा है पहली बार साजन की आंखों में प्यार पहले के चिपड़े दिखते थे.
In an article blogged by Wences Casares, who is the PayPal director and CEO of Zappo Wallet, he emphasized that Bitcoin have a good chance of reaching 1 million US dollar within 7 to 10 years. He cites that the Bitcoin blockchain has had some success and its global adoption will continue to spread despite its challenges. He calls large investors to diversify just 1% of their portfolio into Bitcoin for the reason that there is high probability that Bitcoin will ultimately be a global monetary system. Will Bitcoin ever reach such level of global acceptance? Will Bitcoin ever reach 1 million US dollar per Bitcoin in 7 to 10 years from now? In this exciting video report, we will discuss these questions and cover this article by Wences Casares in depth. Hello YouTube, I am Eugene and today is the 18th of April 2019. If you find this topic interesting, I highly recommend you watch till the end of this video. Before the main story, here are the top 5 popular crypto news. During the Bitcoin price surge of early April, Baidu recorded the search term Bitcoin as one of the most popular searches. Baidu is well known as the Google of China. This record traffic in Baidu clearly illustrates that Bitcoin remains a popular monitored cryptocurrency amongst the Chinese. Bitcoin's transaction per block hit its recent all-time high of 2,763 transactions per block on the 14th of April. Besides recent high amounts that are above 2,700, the last time this exceeded 2,700 value was way back in December of 2017, which was towards the end of the last bull cycle. This current spike above 2,700 transactions per block may be a possible indication to certain traders that the bull market cycle has recently restarted. The World Economic Forum reported that Cambodia's central bank, which is the National Bank of Cambodia, works to be the first central bank to implement blockchain technology. It will be implemented into their banking payment system. Two main factors or benefits the Cambodian authorities sees in the blockchain technology are its easy integration to individual mobiles and its efficiency to make the entire Cambodia's payment system to be more integrated. In a survey poll conducted by IMF, the International Monetary Fund, the survey questionnaire asked Twitter followers what they believe to be used as the preferred mode of payment to pay for lunch in 5 years into the future. 37,000 followers voted, where more than half of the votes indicated cryptocurrencies. The crypto exchange Kraken decides to delist BSV following Binance, Shapeshift, BitTrue, Blockchain.com. This decision was made following a trend where the crypto community were against the BSV team that had been threatening to sue several individuals. These individuals had openly remarked that Craig Wright is falsely claiming to be Satoshi Nakamoto. Amongst the individuals that Mr. Craig Wright wants to sue is Hodlnaut. Hodlnaut is the individual who started the lightning torch. Now for the main story. On kanaandkatana.com, a blog article by Wences Casares was posted on the 1st of March this year. The title of the article is "The Case for a Small Allocation to Bitcoin." I've included the link to the Wences Casares article in the description below. The reason why I had been attracted to read into this article is because I am a small fan and follower of Wences Casares, who is respectful one of PayPal's director and CEO of Zappo Wallet. Wences Casares has been a firm supporter and believer to Bitcoin's future for several years. In fact, I can always remember one of his past prominent videos where he was interviewed. In this interview, he explains why he believes Bitcoin has a bright future and where he believes the price of Bitcoin will go in 10 years' time. I will play you a short part of this video interview.
Here today with Wences Casares. He is the CEO of Zappo, which is a Bitcoin wallet and Bitcoin vault. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, people already do find it attractive in those places because despite the volatility is something that you may find in a day or in a week. But so far, when you look 3-6 months in, Bitcoin has been very steadily increasing in value, and that's a better proposition to most people in those countries than having to suffer the loss in the local currency or risk it in the local bank.
So let's make a bold call here. In 10 years, what do you think Bitcoin will be worth? One Bitcoin.
Between $500,000 and $1 million.
Now, in the article posted on kanakatana.com, there are 10 sections to Wences' blog. I will not go through all 10 of them, but I will just highlight some of the interesting ones that I find meaningful. In the first section, subtitled Why Most Portfolios Should Allocate Up to 1% to Bitcoin, he first opens the article with the case that Bitcoin has succeeded in going through the odds and has a good chance to reach $1 million for the next 7 to 10 years. Because of this, he calls all large investors to put aside 1% of their investment into Bitcoin. 1% is a well-evaluated amount because if Bitcoin being an experiment fails, investors whose portfolio of $10 million would lose only 1%, that is $100,000. But if Bitcoin succeeds and goes up 250 times, then the $100,000 investment will become 25 million. This will cause the entire portfolio of 10 million to grow 2.5 times. In the next section, subtitled What is Interesting About Bitcoin Blockchain, Wences Casares elaborates the importance of the mining process in the blockchain. Mining generally secures the immutability of the ledger. Hence, for anyone to attack this security, the attacker has to use unimaginable amount of capital and energy to compromise the sovereignty of the blockchain. Hence, the miners secured the Bitcoin blockchain using proof of work. In the subsection, Where can a sovereign platform add value? The article elaborates the purpose of Bitcoin blockchain as far as monetary and intrinsic value is concerned. Wences Casares explains, I quote, Bitcoin is not an asset. It does not produce earnings or dividends, and it does not generate interest. Gold, the US dollar, and national currencies do not have any intrinsic value either, but because they have had a monetary value for a long time, most people perceive them as being intrinsically valuable, which is a big advantage. The main hurdle Bitcoin has to clear to become successful is to develop a similar widespread social perception of value, and achieving that is quite an ambitious goal. So what I understand of this reading is that Bitcoin, being first of its kind, has its mission to help the general public perceive the new meaning of money as what Bitcoin is here to represent. This I find is very grand, important and meaningful as a fulfilling purpose of what Bitcoin is made for.
This is important, damn it.
In the following section with the subtitle, What Does a World in Which Bitcoin Succeeded Look Like? Mr. Wences Casares emphasizes that Bitcoin will not really replace government or national currency, but instead it will coexist with government fiat currency. In fact, Bitcoin will become the non-government and national standard for money. It is something like the meter as the world standard for length and grams for the world standard for weight. Therefore, Bitcoin will become the standard for money when national currency will be measured in satoshis. Example of a possible scenario is where in future people may say that the New Zealand dollar is 700 satoshis and the Malaysian ringgit is 450 satoshis. This form of valuation will mean that Bitcoin becomes a world standard of monetary measurement, which makes it independent from government valuation, or rather devaluation. This is therefore a very interesting point. In this subsection, which I will talk about last, Wences Casares went ahead to explain how he came up to $1 million per Bitcoin. He says, I have noticed over time that the price of Bitcoin fluctuates around 7,000 times how many people own Bitcoins. So if that constant remains and if 3 billion people ever own Bitcoin, it will be worth 21 trillion. That's 7,000 times 3 billion, or 1 million per Bitcoin. Here he explains that Bitcoin has exhibited 7,000 as a constant relative to its market cap that is holding over time, well, at least for the recent few years. Depending on the number of people that own Bitcoin, so the price goes up when more people own Bitcoin. If global adoption had already taken place with 3 billion owning some Bitcoin, then 7,000 times 3 billion will give $21 trillion as market cap. Divide this market cap of 21 trillion by 21 million Bitcoin, well, close to a supply cap of 21 million Bitcoin, will give you $1 million per Bitcoin. Now, even not using this method of evaluation, I personally will believe that Bitcoin will reach $1 million by the following bull cycle. Not by the next coming bull cycle, but rather than the following one, cause I did give a Bitcoin price prediction of $200,000 by the end of the next bull cycle, which is about the year 2022. From my price prediction of 200,000, please check out my past video in the video card. So if 200,000 is the peak of the coming cycle, add another, let's say 10x for the following bull cycle, which will be another 4 years, which is 7 years from now, then we can estimate Bitcoin reaching a possible $2 million by the year 2026. What do you think? Do you think it's a reasonable projection that Bitcoin will reach $1 million in 7 years? Whether you believe it or not, I encourage you to post your comments below. Before I go, just want to let you know that I do give free webinars on Bitcoin basics and on the blockchain. In my webinars, I do also introduce FPGA mining with returns of 10% or more monthly. I'm mining with Dunamis Mining. It's transparent, safe, and reliable. The reason it is transparent is because Dunamis is a registered and regulated co-location company in the United States. It does not sell mining contracts as per se, but rather high-capacity security mining space. Therefore, our mining machines, the co-location service, and the low electrical fees of 5 cents per kilowatt hour is charged separately. With the low electrical fees of 5 cents per kilowatt hour, it is then possible to gain more than 10% per month ROI of your machine and co-location service cost. Do explore my free webinars. The link to the webinar schedules are shown in the description below. That is all we have for this video. I sincerely hope you have enjoyed this sharing. If so, please punch the like button. If you have any comments or questions, please post them below. Until the next video, continue hodling and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye.
Blockchain 360.